In the space between dream and reality, Sunny found himself suspended within an endless black void, illuminated only by countless stars. Silver threads of light wove through the void, forming intricate and beautiful constellations, like a neural network spanning across the cosmos. It was a sight beyond comprehension. Somehow, Sunny knew he was witnessing the inner workings of the nightmare spell. The complex pattern he saw resembled something far more familiar, a neural network. But that raised a question: was the spell alive? This had been the subject of many debates over the years, but the consensus was that the spell could not be defined in such simple terms. It was not alive, nor dead. It wasn't sentient or mindless. It was simply a function, an entity that existed outside the conventional bounds of life and death. But Sunny was not concerned with such philosophical questions. He was focused on one thing: his boon. The spell was still evaluating his performance, but Sunny's first reward had nothing to do with that. You have received a memory. Puppeteer's Shroud. A surge of joy filled Sunny. He felt almost giddy, so elated that he could have danced. This memory belonged to Mountain King, an awakened tyrant, which meant it was of the awakened rank. That made it an incredibly rare and fortunate find for Sunny. The nightmare spell had 7 ranks, ranging from dormant to divine. Sunny himself was a dormant human, and receiving a memory of such a high rank would only aid him when he entered the dream realm. The disparity in power between these ranks was vast. While his soul core remained dormant, the higher rank of his aspect would significantly boost his potential. He was eager to inspect the puppeteer's shroud, but there was no time. The spell had finished its appraisal. In the void, the spell's voice shifted. It no longer seemed subtle and familiar, but felt as if the universe itself was speaking directly to him. Sunny held his breath, listening intently. Aspirant, your trial is over. A nameless slave ascended the Black Mountain. Both heroes and monsters fell by his hand, unbroken. He entered the ruined temple of a long-forgotten god and spilled his blood on the sacred altar. The gods were dead, and yet they listened. You have defeated a dormant beast, Mountain King's larva. You have defeated 3 dormant humans, names unknown. You have defeated an awakened human, Oro of the 9. You have defeated an awakened tyrant, Mountain King. You have received the Shadow God's blessing. You have achieved the impossible. Final appraisal, glorious. Your treachery truly knows no bounds. Sunny was pleased with the praise, though the last line seemed unnecessary. Still, he was more confident than ever about his chances of evolving his aspect to a higher rank, maybe even ascended. The rank of his aspect would not only boost his potential, but also serve as a stepping stone for future growth. Dreamer Sunless, receive your boon. The spell had finally spoken. No longer an aspirant, Sunny grinned. You have been bestowed a true name, Lost from Light. His jaw dropped. A true name. This was beyond anything Sunny could have imagined. He was one of the chosen few to achieve such a feat, and he had done so in his very first nightmare. This was a monumental achievement, even more remarkable than some of the most powerful figures in the dream realm could claim. He was an elite now, someone destined for greatness. But the rewards kept coming. Your aspect is ready to evolve. Evolve aspect. Sunny couldn't believe his ears. He crossed his fingers and responded, yes. Dormant aspect temple slave is evolving. New aspect acquired. Aspect rank, divine. Sunny collapsed in shock. Aspect name, Shadow Slave. Divine, it's divine. Sunny, still kneeling, was utterly stunned. The magnitude of it all overwhelmed him. His body trembled as he tried to make sense of the information. Had he really just received a divine aspect? He couldn't comprehend it. Did it say divine? He muttered under his breath. He rubbed his eyes, making sure he was awake, or rather, conscious, since he was technically still sleeping in the underground vault of the police station. The terminology was confusing, but Sunny focused on his aspect, summoning the runes to verify its description. Aspect. Shadow slave. Aspect rank, divine. Aspect description. You are a miraculous shadow left behind by a dead god. As a divine shadow, you possess plenty of strange and wondrous powers. However, your existence is empty and lonesome. You mourn the passing of your former master and long to find a new one. Innate ability. Shadow bond. Ability description. Find a worthy master and let them know your true name. Once they recite it out loud, you will be bound to their will, unable to disobey any command. It is improper for a shadow, let alone a divine one, to walk around without a master. It was a lot to take in. Sunny's heart raced. He realized that he had just received a divine aspect, something so rare it was almost mythological. Those with ascended aspects were already highly coveted, and saints, the transcendent beings, were the highest-ranking individuals in the dream realm. Yet, divine aspects were something few had even heard of, and now Sunny had won. He grinned, intoxicated with joy and the arrogance that came with such a reward. But his happiness was tempered by one concern: his innate ability. The shadow bond could make him a servant to someone else. But Sunny wasn't about to let that happen. No one was going to control him. It was simple enough to avoid this fate. He just had to keep his true name hidden. As long as no one knew it, no one could claim him. Not a problem, Sunny thought, a confident smirk spreading across his face. If the spell had a sense of humor, it would likely laugh at his defiance. But instead, it began to speak again. The first seal is broken. Awakening dormant powers.